Hi, I'm Vel.
And I'm Mo, another episode of the Adastra Team Podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, today we want to catch up on life. What's
Yes.
been going on? Tell me about your first few months of the year. Did you have any New Year's resolution? Have you broken them yet? Did you do a dry month? Where are we at?
Oh my God. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, so yes, we are 1 month into the year, 2025. I didn't per se have a New Year's resolution. I feel like when you just like go, oh, this year I'm going to do this, then you tend to fail it, right? It's just like small step, baby steps, right? I have stopped going to the gym.
Okay.
But just because of life. And so it's my February resolution is go back to the gym because I was going pretty religiously 3 to 4 days a week.
Sure, but medically, are you allowed to go back?
Medically, I'm allowed to go back to do some really boring stuff. I can ride a bicycle and I can walk on the Stairmaster and I can just walk.
Okay, at the end of February or March.
Which doesn't excite me. Yeah, I think by the end of February.
Okay.
I'll be fine to do my running again. It's funny because I never liked running. I always was like, I hate cardio. And now when they were like, even my spine surgeon was like, you shouldn't be running. And I'm like, you're fired. I love to run. And then I kind of go, who is this?
You're like a child. If someone tells you no, you want it even more.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right? When they're like, you have a surgery tomorrow. You can't eat after midnight. And then you wake up in the morning, you're like, I am so hungry.
No, I don't want you to sell any houses or to make any money this year. Don't do that.
Oh, gosh. Right? So, yeah, no great resolutions, but I did start a year doing something really fun in Mexico.
What did you do in Mexico?
Oh, my gosh. I had my feet in the sand. I crashed a wedding, and I attended a planned wedding.
Wait, how'd you crash a wedding?
Oh,
Tell me about that. No. Oh, well, hold on. Maybe we should explain why we were in Mexico. Let's backtrack. So, we were actually all in Mexico. We were celebrating, me and my husband. We were celebrating our 10-year vow renewal, which was a super amazing moment for me and my husband. For those of you that may not know, my husband and I met in the military 10 years ago, right after Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
More than 10 years ago.
Well, actually, Don't Ask, Don't Tell was still a thing when we met, but anyways, we were in the military during that period, and when we got married 10 years ago, it wasn't fully legalized throughout the entire U.S. yet.
So you had a Hawaii wedding.
So unfortunately, we had a Hawaii wedding. But there was a number of things that played into that. We didn't have a huge amount of family support. Like a lot of people during that time period, we had a lot of religion that separated us. Other factors, of course. Yeah, and it was a different time period, but also these people didn't know me yet, nor my husband, so can't really fault them too much.
Sure. This time, though?
This time, fast forward, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Instead of having very little people there, we had over 40 people. Over 40 people that showed up in Mexico that flew in from all over the country for us, not just Texas, but flew in all over the country for us to help celebrate us and also just celebrate each other.
I mean, it did help that it was an all-inclusive adults-only resort.
Yes. Yeah. We struggle with choosing all-inclusive. Well, not the all-inclusive. We struggle with choosing the adults-only because we do have a goddaughter who is only 14, so we would have liked her to be there. And we also have a few nephew and some nieces that would have liked to attend as well, but at the end of the day, it was about me.
It was about
me. And I don't have no damn kids right now, besides my dogs. It just made sense to give everyone that was going an actual vacation. I talked to a couple of friends that do have children that are of that age, and they were telling me, Val, I can't tell you the last time I took a vacation with my husband or my wife. I don't know when we did it without the kids. Everything we ever do is around the kids. And I'm like, gotcha. Yeah. So did not let kids join us. But in turn, we were able to allow these couples to have a chance to reconnect, rekindle, experience life again outside of children and figure out they actually like each other still. Which I hope they do.
I love it. And you were so good about it to where you're like, there's the wedding. And there's one excursion. You're there for 4 days. Do what you want. It's your vacation. He didn't micromanage his guests or anything. It was so awesome. But, it's all inclusive. So there was a lot of alcohol. And
I was dry the entire month. I don't know what you're talking about.
Where's your lightning rod? Because you're about to get struck. No, so anyway, so we had, was that the night of, it was the night before your wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And because I know that I had my big, long rainbow fun dress.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? So I was already dressed really nice. My husband was dressed pretty nice. And we went for a walk on the beach because we're like, oh, romantic walk on the beach. It was so beautiful. Just like toes in the sand.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It's a long, sandy beach, right? Even though the resort was very enclosed, we kept walking and you pass other resorts and we're like, oh, these people are getting married. So we hopped over the tiny little fence and we walked straight through their wedding reception. I mean, it was already late at night. They were dancing, they were partying. We weren't like obnoxious. But we just kind of walked around and checked everything and looked at everybody and just kind of wiggled at the dance. And then we kept walking and it was just kind of funny. We just like a stray cat, just kind of like made our way, judged a little, said, eh.
You didn't use like the kitty litter box over there?
the sandy beach. At one point, not that night. So yeah, that was a ton of fun.
Okay.
I
didn't realize you crashed that.
Yeah. And it didn't even, nobody looked at us weird because we were both dressed up. Okay. So it was kind of perfect.
Well, she looked appropriate.
Yeah. Yes. So that was pretty cool, you know, just kind of see what are the people doing for their wedding. And then we walked back. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had a fantastic time, honestly. I've been to destination weddings before, and literally every day is planned out to a T. No fault to that person that loves that, but girl, I just did not have the aptitude to deal with that. Running the business and doing it with clients, I was like, no, y'all do whatever you want. Yeah. The one day I require is this, and we had the planner do most of that stuff.
And that excursion, though.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So he planned this. Okay, so the plan changed. Initially, it was like, oh, we're going to be on like a catamaran and be on the water.
Sunset,
romantic sunset on the boat. Booze cruise, right?
Yeah.
Well, the day comes and cancel that completely. Big red cross over it. Says change of plans. We're going to go see the cenotes.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, that sounds awesome. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So we get bussed, three buses. A lot of us there.
Yeah.
We get bussed to these cenotes, and then they're like, okay, we're going to get in the water. First, you get a shower.
Yeah, so you got to shower in the cenote water so you're not mixing up your minerals or your
lotions
oils or
and
lotions.
oils.
Exactly.
And the water was
here. Yeah.
Freezing.
I mean, it was January, so I guess it makes sense.
This girl does not like getting her bangs wet because they look...
Do they shrivel up?
No, like they're so straight, they just go and look awful. And they're like, no, you got to wash everything, your hair and everything. And I'm like, Belle, all right, sure. And then they have like all these people taking photos of you. And I just look the absolute worst I can. And we're like, we're not buying any of these photos. And then we step into the cenote water. And it was cold. Like it's one of those, once we were in it for a while, like half an hour, probably, if not even more. Eventually you get used to it. But initially you're like, so we all get in the water and we're all going, freaking Belle, man.
Yeah. They said it was like 68 degrees.
It's chilly. Yeah. I take my showers, they steam. Like I like hot water. And all of us, and you weren't even with us because the excursion got split and the host was with his father-in-law and mother-in-law, like Daniel side of the family, and we were all just like, freaking Belle, man. But it was
it not worth it?
Cool.
Yes.
Swimming through all the stalactites and stalagmites, and we got so deep in it, they shut the lights off. And it is the quietest, the darkest. It's like nothing.
Yeah, that sensory deprivation that falls into play. Yeah.
Yes, it was amazing. And Will's claustrophobic. My husband's claustrophobic. It didn't seem to bother him. He actually, when later we're like, would you go snorkeling on cenotes? And he goes, I'd go back to the cenotes. It was very
It's a cool experience. And they have tons of them throughout that region. They do. Yeah, so I mean, the one that we went on was just one of the more famous ones, but there is a large duration of them, and I advise anyone that goes out to that portion of Riviera Maya to go and check it out, right north of Tulum. It's a really cool region.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then snorkeling was so neat.
Yes.
You used to have a tropical fish tank before you knew me.
You would. So
that's
not to get sidetracked, but Mo and her husband, they are well known for having the most random freaking pets out there.
Oh my god.
Yes. Yes. Not to get too distracted. That's a story for a different day.
That is a
Anywho,
story
go
for
back to
a different
your snorkeling.
So snorkeling was really cool because we had a tropical fish tank.
Uh-huh.
So they had some of the fish that we had in our tank. So it was just so neat. And, videotaping it all. And my husband is a person who generally doesn't get in the water. Like, he likes to float, but
I didn't know he didn't like water.
Public swim.
I don't know why I didn't ask that.
Man,
Yes.
the whole group was already getting dried up.
Uh-huh.
And I look, and he's
Like
way
a kid in the pool,
out
just
there. He is
swimming around.
He's in heaven. So here I'm like, okay, I can't yell after, so I'm swimming.
Yeah.
I get to him and I'm like, gotta go. And he's like, okay. And then the whole he's still taking his time. And I'm like, dude, you're holding us all up. It was amazing. It was so wonderful. The wedding was the best. It was beautiful. It was quaint. We get greeted by a table that says, take a shot and take a seat. So cool.
Very on brand, yes.
Very on brand. It was wonderful. It was such a good time. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming, and
Yeah.
thank everyone that had attended to come as well.
Can't wait to see the photos, or can I?
Oh, I have some photos for you. I have some blackmail photos too.
Maybe we'll have those edited.
Yes.
Maybe we won't. See.
There's some great ones out there, but it was honestly a great night. I was completely coherent up until it ended. And someone had a great idea that they wanted to go and be a sea whale and go jump into the ocean water.
Oh
I don't
my
know who
God.
that was, but here we were at 2, 3 a.m. in the morning in the beaches of Mexico. And there's like 30 of us just hanging out in the beach afterwards.
In your beautiful wedding suit.
Yeah, it's fine. It's clothes, right? But memories.
Memories.
Oh my God, we had so many great
The
photos.
bruises lasted.
And the bruises. Yes, all the things that really ran into such a great time there.
It was so fun.
Well, that was definitely the highlight of our January.
That was the highlight of January. But you know what?
Yes.
I ended the year really well too because I got to go to Croatia in
Mhm.
December.
Yeah, I'm very well. I don't know if I'm jealous of you. I don't like the cold like that.
Yeah, I mean, this was my first time going to Croatia during the Advent season,
Uh-huh.
and it is the top destination in Europe
Is
for Advent season. No, it truly is. For
Wait,
years,
how
it's
so?
been voted.
How so?
Oh my gosh, they deck out the
Educate
city.
me, ma'am.
No, they deck out the city. It is
Yeah.
gorgeous. They create a giant ice skating rink
Mhm.
in one of these old parks by the railroad station. They actually, even on the opening day, will have people in 1980s costumes ice
Mhm.
skating. I mean, it takes you back in time. It's gorgeous. So I'm glad I got to experience it. Yes, it was cold.
Yes. But was
It's
there
not my
snow?
favorite time of the year to go. No, man, climate change.
Oh, okay,
Unfortunately,
climate change.
back in the day, there used to be no.
Oh
there's
no, girl! You
snow.
can't get me out in the cold unless there's snow. Like I need
Yeah.
to be. Give me a reason to be cold. I need some snow.
Yeah, but
Yes.
we had like, what glue wine is, right? The cooked wine.
Blue
mulled
wine?
It's called glue wine.
No,
It's
what
German.
is that?
So you take red wine and you
Uh-huh.
bring it to boil.
Uh-huh.
You don't boil it, right? You don't want to boil the alcohol
Okay.
out of it. And then you put in spices like you would
Oh,
put
it's like
for the
malt
apple
wine
cider.
or-
Malt
yeah,
wine.
yeah.
Same thing, malt
Okay.
wine, right? But they had, so we just called it cooked wine.
But where'd you get glue from?
No, it's a German word. It sounds like glue.
It's not glue.
No, it's not glue.
Okay, I was like,
I know.
Do we add some glue? What kind of glue? Super glue? Elmer's glue? Like, where are we at?
Sniffing glue? No. It's just pronounced like that. It's a German word.
Okay, sounds edible.
Yes. So, but we get to this market on the main square. It's
Mhm.
packed with people. It's cold out. Nobody cares. I've never seen so many beautiful 20, 30-year-old women in fur with even like fur hats. And my
Mhm.
husband looks at me and goes, I finally get it. I get it. We like fur so much. But they had not just cooked wine. They
Yeah.
had cooked rum, cooked gin, cooked
Mhm.
whiskey.
Okay.
It was so good, nice and hot with seasonings, and you out there watching the music. There was a guy with a baby owl,
Oh.
and I got to hold it, and it was the sweetest little thing. So ending the year with a trip to Croatia,
Yes.
and then during the cold, and then
So a good
less than a
end, a
month
good start.
later-
A good end, a good start.
exactly going to Mexico and spending 4 days in a bikini.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we had a great time. I mean, we had a lot of hiccups. Like my luggage got lost.
Oh.
All the things that go wrong in like
You were
travel.
so cool about that. I would have lost my mind.
I was just prepared. Like honestly, anytime. Well, the last few times I go to Mexico, they always like mess up like my luggage.
Yeah.
In fact, for Tanya's 40th, when I went out there 2 years ago, they had messed up my flights as well.
Really.
Yeah, and I was texting Tanya, one of our good dear friends that was coming with us as well. And I was texting her. I was like, girl, every time I travel to Mexico with you, my shit is messed up. My flights, my luggage, something.
Yeah.
I'm always supposed to be the first one there. I'm the last one to arrive. And the same thing happened this time around because we had a lot of delays out of Austin. And
your husband made it from the Middle East before you made it from Austin.
My husband made it from Qatar to Mexico before I made it from Austin to Mexico. How that maths out, I have no clue, but I digress.
There were a lot of drinks in between.
Yes.
Well, and then you sent us with a piece of luggage, right?
I did.
Because he's the amazing host, so he had party favors for all of his attendees of the wedding ceremony.
Not drugs, just so you're aware, Mexico. No drugs.
I was a mule, but not for drugs.
No, it's just butt plugs.
So we had a suitcase, right? Val's suitcase, and my husband has a beard and tattoos, and every security at every airport always, randomly flags him. So they're like, you, come on over. And he's got your suitcase. And he's like, oh my God. I have no idea what's going to be.
I should have just packed the most inappropriate things in there.
He was fully expecting it too.
Yeah.
And he opened it up, and then the guy was super confused because there were like a million of the same boxes. And he's like, what's this? And we're like, oh, wedding favors. And we ended up teaching the TSA or the Mexican TSA people English. Oh, they were so cool. They're like, how do you say don't use your cell phone in the check area? So it was really cool.
Funny.
But really Will was sweating bullets there for a little bit, opening the suitcase, going, oh my God, what am I getting myself
What am I going to expect here? Yes, that's hilarious.
Shoes almost didn't make it. You almost had a barefoot wedding.
It's fine. I mean, the way my husband and I were thinking about it was like, girl, we're already married. What are we going to do? Get divorced and re-divorced again? Like, it makes no sense. It's here. And at the end of the day, it was really just a celebration of our people, our friends, our family that are our friends, all the things that make us whole, honestly. It was nice to have these individuals with us and experiencing just some celebration.
Yeah. And on the other side of that, it was nice to actually put faces to the names and the stories.
Yes. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm at a little bit of disadvantage because, being your wife, people know who I am. His family, everybody recognizes me. They all know Mo. Same as all of my friends. If you ever, when you went to my thing, they're like, oh, there's Val. Yeah. Never met him, know him, social media, etc.
Yes.
So it was really nice to actually, but people would come up to me and they all know my name, and it took me a while to remember everybody's names. There was a lot of people and a lot of booze.
You had to buy me a free shot twice for me to remember your name.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that was super cool. So you just had your 10th wedding anniversary.
Yes.
I have my 25th this year.
I know.
Insane. Quarter of a century.
Yeah.
And we still don't know what we're doing. So long story short, came as a foreign exchange student, met a guy, fell in love shortly after. We ended up getting married.
This was before 90 Day Fiance, by the way.
Is that reality TV?
Oh my gosh, you've never seen that?
No!
They're like your people, girl. They're your people.
So anyway, we're having our 25th coming up here this August. We initially just went to the Justice of the Peace, and it was in a jail in Tacoma, Washington, on a hilltop. It was like a courthouse, but
was it a pretty jail?
Courthouse. Yeah, we were
flowers between bars. We
weren't in the jail, but the jail was adjacent to this courthouse, and it was pretty ghetto.
Okay.
And anyhow, but we rode there with two people that we barely met,
on a
and
buggy?
Their kids were in our lap. Like, Will was in jeans. I borrowed somebody's summer dress. Like, it was super cash, but we just went to do our vows and get married. Didn't tell the families. For about 6 months, nobody knew. And then we had a formal wedding in Croatia, beautiful church. My in-laws came, all family. It was a big deal. It was wonderful.
And Will was in the military at the time, right?
Will was in the military.
So it made sense for you guys to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we were broke, and we,
when we got married, we were broke in the military too.
Yeah.
Same stories.
Yeah. Same.
I was a foreign bride as well, so it makes sense. Living in Japan.
He still says that I was his mail order bride. He actually told the immigrations officer that I'm his mail order bride. I about died. I was so nervous. Thank God he had a good sense of humor. Officer Cruz, I'll never forget him. Anyhow, 25th is coming around the corner. So we always used to say, third time's a charm. So we did just the boring courthouse. And then we did the formal family, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, my original idea is go to Vegas.
Wait, is it August 11th?
22nd.
Okay.
Close. All right, so now what I would like to do, what I've always wanted to do, I don't know if we'll end up doing it, but it's on the table. My proposal is Vegas, the cheesiest chapel,
Mm-hmm.
and a little person impersonating Elvis doing our ceremony.
Okay.
Because I want to go like to the extreme
Mm-hmm.
and make it really funny and fun,
Yes.
and have our friends there. But there's a thing about having your feet in the sand on a beach with a margarita in your hand versus Vegas.
Got it. Margaritaville in Vegas. No, that sounds terrible, actually. Let's not do that one.
So, if anybody's got ideas, please share. What should we do for our 25th wedding anniversary?
Yeah, I'm
Do we do
curious.
a little Elvis, or
Yeah.
do we do a destination wedding?
Type deal? Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of options out there.
We do.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I guess the trial can be I'm going to a destination wedding.
You
in
are
Dublin
next month, right?
No, in May.
In May. Okay.
In May in Dublin.
Have you ever been to Dublin before? I know you're
No.
European, but you've never been to Dublin?
I have not.
Uh-huh.
I have not gone further north of Munich.
Okay.
So I've explored like southern
I gotta look
part
at a
of
damn
Europe.
map because I'm like, north?
Yeah.
Norway? You're going to Norway?
Yeah, so I haven't. But this was such a great story. I've known this man since late 2009.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very dear friend. And then he decided he was a very eligible
He
bachelor.
he wasn't one of your prison pen pals, right?
No.
No?
No. He was a dear friend in Seattle, Washington.
Yes.
And then he decided he was a very eligible bachelor, well off, wonderful human being, decides to sell everything but what fits in a tiny carry-on and a backpack. A super nice, swanky apartment, everything. And go travel and do kind of like missionary work, not necessarily church related, but just like
Humanitarian.
humanitarian. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just kind of like fell off.
Yeah.
And he explored the world. He had a blog, and then he just kind of disappeared. And every so often, I try to email.
You said you've been searching for like
I've
years,
been
right?
Searching for him, but
Yeah.
he's not on social media. Phone number no longer works, and we think of him often. I always wonder, well, what's with Andy? Where's Andy? And it's been well over 10 years that we haven't heard anything from him. And then about I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, I get an email from him, and he says, "I got hitched.
Mm-hmm.
We just did it in court. We're doing a ceremony. We want our nearest and dearest people there, and we got invited." And I was in tears reading this email. It was like somebody that I thought was maybe even dead is back.
Because you just haven't heard anything from him.
And for no reason. It's not like he was mad,
was
obviously.
Was he military as well? Or like,
No,
you just knew him when you guys were in the military in Tacoma. Got it.
Yeah. So he just wanted more in life than money and material things. And went off. And it's wonderful, but selfishly, like, I lost him in that process.
It's hard, but like,
So-
I mean, you were a military wife for a long while. I mean,
Sure.
you guys are military affiliated, and you understand that friendships and relationships are much deeper than time. Time sometimes does not play a
I know.
factor. And
But I lost faith at certain point because it's been
I
so
hear
long.
you, but that's amazing that he actually reached back out, and you're one of the nearest and dearest.
Yes.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, you have to go. Just make it happen. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the thing, like, you show up for the people that matter.
absolutely.
Yes.
So it's not just because, ooh, cool, let's go to Dublin, but I want to see him and be like, man,
Yes.
10 years, you got gray hairs on your chin now.
Mhm.
Who are you?
Yes, I do request a shot glass.
Okay, you go.
Maybe a
Just
hat.
a shot glass?
Maybe a hat.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll work on a black one, but it
A
might be
black
green.
one.
It's Ireland. Green's your
I
favorite
can do
color.
black with green, like a little Irish charm.
Yeah, I got for
Yes.
homework to bring him a black hat from Croatia, and I could not find a nice one that said
And
that wasn't cheesy. So
I appreciate the effort that you made.
we specifically went, my
I
sister and
know.
I, to different like shopping malls looking for a nice black hat.
Yes. And she came back with like the most touristy hat out there.
No, it was still pretty vanilla. It
Yes,
wasn't like
but
super cheesy, but yes.
She brought me all these photos of her sister just having a fucking great time out there searching for the hat. And
Searching
to me, that was amazing. And it's so funny because I've not met your family in person yet, but I've talked to them on like FaceTime and and so forth. But it's so interesting because like you talk so vividly about them and like their personalities.
You mean
I feel
loudly?
like- Girls loud, yes. But you talk so loudly about these people that I definitely feel like I know them. I feel like they're part of my family by extension. You know.
My sister sent him clothes.
I know she sent me the most gorgeous jacket, and I've worn. You have pictures.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, coats.
Yeah.
There's fur in there. So
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
I came over. She's
Now-
like, "You think Val would like it?
Yes.
Take it to him."
She's a skinny girl now, so she can fit in it. But no, I just need like the fur cap. I need a fur hat.
All right.
Manifesting.
I got you. I'm
Manifesting.
sure they have some in Ireland.
A black fur. I don't know if Ireland would have it. Do you think so? Do they wear fur caps?
I don't know if we're to Ireland,
Neither have I. We're gonna find out.
but isn't that where whiskey comes from?
Irish whiskey. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I may forget to
We got
get
a
you
thumbs up from our producer, so I think that's valid.
He's over there judging. He's like another cat back there, like
Yes, he's like, I can't believe they roped me into this. Yes, but no, I think that's super cool. I'm a little envious that you're going. I might just have to tag along for the last few days. We'll see. We'll see.
Super cool. But yeah, what else do we have going on for 2025? The start is great. We started on a high note.
We started on a high note. I mean, just like any business, what was our first year of business last year?
24 was a little deflating.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
We know it's deflating, but no, last year was such a learning curve for us. It was our first year being like our own business owners, in terms of a team,
Yeah.
developing that, figuring out the do's and don'ts, most of the
Yeah.
don'ts,
Yeah.
and the first month I would say was just like redefining exactly our boundaries, what we wanted, what we don't want, and trying to figure out how to make sure that we're growing in a way that makes sense for our clients.
Just reassessing.
Yeah.
I was just telling somebody recently about
Mhm.
how things have been. A couple of my girlfriends came over and I said, people are saying that last year was one of the hardest years in real estate,
Mhm.
not thinking about the 2008 kind of thing, but in the recent decade, right?
Yeah, well, stats were saying that we're worse in 2008, but yes, continue.
Sure. So
Yeah.
it's been really rough. And of course, that's the year that we decided to
break off and do our
on
own
our
thing.
own.
Yeah.
So when we did this, we did the math and we anticipated losing money the
Uh-huh.
first year. Just being realistic
Yeah.
and being like, okay, we're kind of relearning to walk here a little bit and figure out new systems. And there's a potential we're going to be at a bit of a loss.
Yeah.
So we're preparing ourselves financially and morally and emotionally for this. And
Yeah.
we didn't.
I mean,
we still met our goals. We
it
did
was
better than the year before.
Yeah, financially is one of our best years in real estate that we've had thus
Yes.
far. But beyond that, on like the number standpoint, yes, financially, yes, but in reality, we had to invest so much more into our business.
Yeah.
And which comes with the territory, but we're doing it for not only ourselves but our clients. Continuously like reforming things,
Right.
new data, new technology. That's why we align with the company that we're with right now to ensure that we're bringing the best technology possible to our clients. To
And
ensure
we're picking what to invest into
Exactly.
versus with previous brokerage, you lose half commission period
Mhm.
and they choose, which I mean is a standard procedure,
yeah.
but now we're our own boss and we're like,
We're our own boss, but
this
not
is
only
what
that,
we're
we
doing.
understand like our branding, where we want it to go, what our ideas like, also how to best suit our clients who we serve, not someone else's vision of what our
Exactly.
clients need. So we're really able to tailor it towards these people. And I'll tell you right now, I'm kind of at a point in my career where it is a pretty amazing thing where people are calling me just to ask me like, hey Val, what is your advice on this scenario? I have this going on right now. Can you help me? Beyond just real estate. I had someone reach out to me for a CPA recently,
yeah,
a divorce attorney too.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
all these little things that play a factor into people's lives that you don't really understand, but you're there. You're kind of like the nuclear core of
the advisor
people's
of all kinds
lives
of
out
things.
here. Yeah, which is pretty amazing. Most recently, I'm super excited to say, I got asked to be a part of someone's baby shower to help plan
Oh,
it.
I can't wait! I love them.
Yeah, to help plan it. So one of my dear clients, they were actually at my Val renewal in Mexico, and I've worked with them on several properties out here in Austin, and they were military and investors and learning how to deal with their money. And full circle, I was out there with them, their lender. Their lender was out there, Miss Christina, one of our good lender friends, was out there as well, who's been their lender for multiple transactions.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to hang out with her, meet in person, and do some really cool stuff together. But they're pregnant, so I'm very excited for them with their first child. And they asked me to be part of the baby shower planning situation, and I'm helping along with one of their aunts to create a very memorable event for them. But not only that, they are about to celebrate a Val renewal as well for themselves in New York come May. So I'll be out there in May.
Oh, very cool.
Yes.
You'll be in May. I'll be in Dublin.
Yes. Oh, I'll
So-
send you a picture.
So when I met them, they were so sweet. I absolutely adore this couple. And I met them in a very casual atmosphere, and pretty blunt. And I was like, "You guys are making the most beautiful babies. Why aren't you guys making babies yet?" And every time I'd see them, I was like, "You guys need to make babies. You're gonna make the most beautiful babies." And I see them in Mexico because I don't see them regularly.
Yeah.
They're Val's friends, but I saw them in Mexico, and it wasn't quite obvious from what she was wearing at the moment. And
So she stood up?
well, she's so tiny, like I can
Yes.
see over her. But anyhow, so she's like, give her some love, and I'm like, so good to see you. She goes, you know how you always say, we make wonderful babies. She goes, we did it. And I was so excited, and my husband
Yeah.
got to meet them, and he fell in love with them. So I am
Yeah.
very stoked. But you know what? That's a testament of our relationship with your clients. They were your clients.
They're not clients anymore. They're family.
No, they're family.
They're family. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just so appreciative to be part of that part of their journey with them. But yeah, I agree with you. It's so funny because when she told me she was pregnant, she was like, Val, I know you told me 2 more years, because I was trying to get them for my own life goals with them. I was like, 2 more years, you guys, we gotta travel a little more, do some more stuff. Because they're such great people, and I love having travel partners. And as much as Daniel and I keep trying to get pregnant, it's not happening, girl. I don't know what it is.
Keep trying.
But it has not come to effect yet.
Yeah.
Anywho, these people were like, Val, I know you said 2 more years, but here we are. I was like, that's not an issue. I'm just so happy for you all. Like, they're gonna make the best parents.
So I know they're not saying if it's a
Mhm.
boy or girl, but for some reason I keep thinking it's a girl.
I'm hoping it's a girl
Are you?
because, oh yeah, what am I supposed to go do? Play football with the boy? I can send Daniel. I mean,
Soccer.
our nephew, I can play a little soccer. Our nephew
Right.
plays soccer, and we'll go play with him.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't know why. Every time I think
Yeah.
it's a girl. I know nobody knows. I think Dad knows, but he's keeping it a secret
Yes.
from Mom and the
Yes.
family. And in my mind, it's a girl. I'm very curious.
I hope it's a girl
if my
too.
just like this random feeling
Yes.
is correct.
I can't wait to go do all the things with her. Shopping.
I know. I'm
Nails.
gonna spoil the heck out of this.
I mean, she might be super athletic. I'll let that slide. There's always the next one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 2025 is exciting.
Absolutely. Okay, last thoughts of what we're projecting for 25. What are your goals right now? Give me your top 3 goals real quickly.
Okay, so Louboutin came out with these new shoes.
Oh, Ms. D. Ms. D. Yes.
Yes, so there might be a pair of pink shoes in my future.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just almost completed renovating my house, right?
Oh,
I
that's
was
a journey.
hoping to wrap up 24 with a new house. Bought it 10 years ago. Not a fixer-upper, but built in the 70s, one owner who meticulously maintained it, being the key word. 0
Mhm.
renovations. So it was time. It was time.
You're not a fixer-upper from the 70s. Girl, that's a fixer-upper. We have very different definitions.
Nothing was
here.
broken. Let's put it this way. Nothing was broken. Everything was very functional, well maintained.
Mm-hmm.
An eyesore.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I don't know if you can tell, but we have very different styles quite
Yes.
frequently.
Oh, but you love because we got together on it, right? And Val and I went shopping for colors.
Listen, 42% of her remodel was my design process.
42.
42.
Did you do the math?
I did. 42. Analytics girl.
Yeah, so I was really hoping to wrap up 24
Mhm.
with it being completed. We're now like down to touch-ups and
Mhm.
almost complete, and that's been. So we've learned a lot helping our clients do renos, but then
It's
when you do
different
it
when you live through it.
yourself
Yeah.
again and you're living through it, oof, man, it's a lot of work. So I'm excited within the next couple of weeks.
Mhm.
It's going to be completely done. You remember I thought of you last night. So
Sorry, Will.
I wasn't a fan of my previous bedroom. I may or may not have fallen through the ceiling at one point, so it had a big piece of cardboard stapled to the ceiling.
It was not adult activity related, just so we understand that.
I was putting Christmas decorations into my attic and my ankle twisted and I slipped off and
Yes.
my foot, I probably looked like the Christmas lamp from the
Mhm.
Christmas store, just my leg hanging off the ceiling.
As Paris Hilton would say, that's hot.
That's hot. And so I had a piece of cardboard stapled to my ceiling for years.
Yes.
Because I always said, I'm not patching it. I have a popcorn ceiling. Eventually it's going to get fixed.
Mhm.
Fast forward more than 5 years. And we finally did it, right? And
Yes.
I hated waking up in my bedroom because that was the first thing I see when I
Mhm.
open my eyes. And Val was very adamant. He said, nothing old, that you had before.
Besides the only wheel.
Besides right? Touche. Is going into your bedroom. And I hung some, you haven't even seen it. I hung some art on the walls. We picked the colors together. I got new bedding. I got new wall art, new TV stand, which is actually Val's, but it was new to me and I always loved it. So he was kind enough to give it to me. And I woke up, I was going to bed last night and I lay down and I looked around and I said, I'm happy in this room. And it's really in a big part thanks to you because, I would have brought a bunch of old shit in there that I shouldn't have.
You all might not know this, but Mo is a frugal bitch.
You say that in
Mo
every
is
episode.
a frugal,
if you follow us, you know this.
Yes, Mo is frugal, which I love because I'm not. I'm really not a frugal person. My husband is. Mo is too. Mo's husband's not. We're quite opposites, obviously.
Right.
However, here's the thing. Mo loves to repurpose and reuse, which I love. I think that's great. A lot of people should do that. But she takes it to an extreme in her past life because she had to do that because she was poor.
Right.
I mean, you were just
starting
new to America,
nothing.
starting from nothing, starting a family, all the things that build you up.
My first furniture I found on a curb and brought it in the house and it smelled like
and
happy.
that's where it all went down, but
no.
But that's the thing about Mo that a lot of people probably won't know. She will reuse and repurpose and make a use out of something. So it's great that she has that aptitude to do that. But with that being said, it creates a lot of dysfunction in her life where she just has a lot of unfinished projects. So when we were remodeling the property completely and she was spending all this money to do so, I was like, girl, I need you to wake up good in the morning. Let's find one part in your home that you're going to wake up, meaning your bedroom, and it's going to be completely new. Nothing else is in there going to be reused. Completely new furniture, everything from walls, floors, ceiling, everything is new in this one room. So I was like, I need you to kind of just wake up and just feel like a sense of awe. That way it starts off your day right.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're good opposites, because I'm good at making sure that you are reflective and seeing the positives when it's so easy, especially in today's life, economy, all the things that play a factor into that to be negative. But to be positive takes a lot more energy and a lot more work. Yeah. So I was very happy that you took my advice on that, and we're at that process where like, okay, this is our one room. I don't care what you do in the rest of the house, but this is the one room.
Even the bed, the mattress, everything.
Yeah, linen. You just started linen.
It's like a new linen.
All the things.
And I mean, it's looking so good that it feels good to be in the house. So our previous episode, we actually filmed in my living room because it was nice.
Half the living room.
You can only see how I'm still finalizing the rest of it. But the point is, like, any room now that I go into, except there's that one that's still a shit show.
Yeah.
But it's like,
you see that silver lining coming.
I'm home. This is mine now. This is me. It speaks to me, So.
But that's such a testament to like everything that you've built with your spouse and your life and created this place where you can have what makes you feel good.
Yeah, you go back 25 years. I mean, he donated plasma for us to be able to eat. Literally, we ate out of food banks and had furniture that came off of curbs. We slept on a floor for 6 months, and we wouldn't tell our families. Our families would have helped us, but we were too proud.
I think there's a pride, and also like pride and shame. It's a weird.
You're right.
It's a weird thing because you're like too proud, but then you're also it's shameful to ask because then it proves that you're not surviving
or maybe you didn't make a right choice.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Daniel did similar things. We understand.
Yeah. But to now wake up and go, okay, we did it. We made it. It may have taken us a quarter of a century.
Late bloomers. It happens.
We've moved around a lot. We've had a lot of first starts. We've experienced life. We're no regrets type of people, as you are. Like, if something sucks, change it.
The cool thing about you and I is we've pretty much lived multiple lives.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, different versions of ourselves, different lessons learned.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I will say that the coolest thing about 2025 so far was the melting pot of experience that we had for our vow renewal, where my multitude of lives all came together at one point. We had military there. We had just friends of friends, like all the people that really just were able to make that happen.
Vendors, friends, family.
Yes.
Everything.
And it's probably one of my proudest moments in my life where I was able to celebrate this point in my life that my partner and I created together over 10 plus years, honestly. And to reflect on that and be appreciative of what we have
Yeah.
and what we want to keep going forward and how to keep increasing that and really cultivating those relationships.
I was glad I had waterproof mascara.
Yeah, that's so funny because so many people said they cried.
We did.
Yes.
Man, the moment I turned around and I saw you guys, I looked at Will and he was like, "Don't do it." And I'm like, "You look so cute."
You know, when Daniel was saying his vows, he was crying.
I know. The moment his voice started
Yeah.
quivering, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
gonna bawl." It was
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Meanwhile, when I said my vows, I said there's stipulations to my
laughed.
vows. Yeah, I guess that was really on trend for me.
Yeah, it
I was
was on
like,
trend.
you know, I will agree to X, Y, and Z, but there are stipulations to this, and if you do not perform as appointed per this contract, it will be void. Yes.
You put your legal hat on. No, it
Yes.
was wonderful though. You did such a good job. It was so great.
It wasn't me. It was the people we hired, girl.
Yeah.
I was not taking care of that.
No, I'm talking about your little spiel.
Oh, my little spiel. Yes,
That's good.
exactly. It was a good little moment.
I'm very excited to see the photographs.
I'm excited to see the video.
There's a video.
Oh yeah, that's what we had. The
Should I be
photographer and there's a
scared?
videographer. No, the one that should be scared would be the one that fell or got launched.
Not me. I did have a bruise on my knee, but that's because I got dragged into the ocean by a whale.
These
No.
whales come out of nowhere.
The next day, I'm
Yes.
checking out, and one of the wedding party guests comes up to me. He goes, I didn't realize he was standing there. He turns around and goes, "I heard he went full mermaid last night." I'm like, "What?" Yup.
Yes,
Sure
I
did.
have videos and pictures to prove it. Yes, I messaged one of my girlfriends. She has her doctor, like very smart people, and her husband is about to be an attorney soon. I was asking like how they enjoyed their time there, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and she's like, "We had the best time. In fact, I know that he had a good time because he was missing his glasses from his glass, or his glass from his glasses.
What do you mean? What?
When he was missing a lens, he was missing a lens from his glasses. Yes,
One of the
one of the lenses gone completely."
Oh my
Because he had such a great time. I felt so bad for them because they stayed up all night with us. And they had to leave the resort at 4 in the morning. So literally we were out there being sea whales till 3 a.m. And they had to go back to their room and pick their bags up and leave.
Oh my gosh.
Troopers. That's all I gotta say. Troopers. I would have delayed my flight and flown out the next day.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, it was so funny.
But with that being said, we hope that you had a great start to your 2025. And we hope that we can help you in any way possible, whether or not you want a friend, you want someone to drink with, you want to buy a house, whatever it may
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Feel free to give us a call.
We're full spectrum agency.
Full spectrum, part mermaids, and sea whales, it turns out. Anything
Yeah.
to make the sale happen, clearly.
So yeah, we'll do another update come spring. See
Come spring.
how the wedding destination weddings turned out.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we hope to hear from you guys soon. But until then, cheers, my friends.
Cheers. You need a refill.
I do.
Bye.